What's going on, friends, and family? Welcome back to another installment of The Struggle is Meal. It's me, your man, Post Midnight, and this episode is a little bit different, right? Because it's not like I'm teaching you anything brand new in this one. We are not reinventing the wheel at all, but rather, Taco Bell just put a thread up the other day that goes, what's a menu item that you miss? And strangely enough, I actually have a menu item from Taco Bell that I miss. And let's be real, some days we need something that's not necessarily good for us, but it's just comfort food. I mean, depending on when you're watching this, we have just potentially started World War III. We are still under siege at home, and some days you just don't want to think about fucking food. So, talking about cheap, easy, and quick, we're bringing back the quesadilla, and in turn, the Taco Bell Mexi Melt that you can make at home. Now, for our purposes, we're not going to break out the ground beef because we're not doing it for a whole family. We're just doing it for a couple of hungry dudes, right? Well, individual ones for hungry dudes. So first we're going to start off getting our meat together. You see, this is nothing fancy. This is a regular run-of-the-mill pack of Steako. That's it. As it sizzles and gets to where it wants to be, we're going to hit it with a little adobo. A little garlic powder, a little cumin, a little chili, or if you've got like a thing of taco season, you can skip most of these steps and simply utilize that. And then, because I'm feeling fancy, a dash of Worcestershire sauce. We're going to let it get all beefy and treat it the same way they do at any good cheesesteak spot. We're going to manipulate it, kind of chop it up. You can go a little heavy if you want, but I found that with this size tortilla, it doesn't have to be huge unless you want it overstuffed and falling out, which, to be fair, does sound like a good time. However, we're doing it quick and dirty. Now, one of the things that trips me out is it always amazes me what people are willing to pay for food when they go out to a restaurant, especially when a lot of things that we pay for in restaurants are really, really easy to make at home. I mean, here's a question, right? When's the last time you made a quesadilla? I'll wait. But more importantly, when's the last time you went out to a restaurant and ordered a quesadilla? And if you think about it, how much did you pay for it? Probably in the neighborhood of like $10, $12 because restaurants charge you for perceived value, which is part of why I love teaching you what you can make at home, quick, cheap, and easy. Instead, we are going to make a quesadilla for next to nothing in next to no time. And then we're going to transform that basic base into my favorite Taco Bell treat, the Mexi Melt. So right here in our pan, we've got the tortilla. Then, where did I put that knife? Yeah, got one right here. A good chef always has a knife on hand. Of course, opening things with gloves can be a little trickier. We'll do a hearty bit of said queso. And as it starts to get all melty and gooey, we are very simply going to add our beef. And handy dandy pico de gallo, which I taught you how to make in a previous episode of The Strugglers Meal. Just tomatoes, cilantro, onion, garlic, lime, and jalapeno. Adds a nice fresh flavor to any dish, and it's a great healthy snack to have on hand. And we're going to do a healthy dollop of that pico de gallo on our tortilla. Give it a second to let it get all melty and gooey. As a matter of fact, we're going to speed it up just a smidgen. we're going to add a splash of water to help steam it. And in about 20 seconds or so, we have a Mexi Melt. Meaty, cheesy, a bit of freshness, and surprisingly satisfying given the amount of effort. Tortillas, cheap. Cheese, relatively cheap. Steakums, stupid cheap. That Pico de Gallo recipe, also cheap and easy. And at the end of the day, when bombs may or may not be dropping, and we don't know if our world is on fire, sometimes we need to simplify our existence. A little more done than I want, but gooey, meaty, and super duper yummy. And just like that, dinner is done. Because you got to feed any army, right? You know, the army marches on its stomach. But remember, while the news may feed your rage, I am here to feed your tummy and your soul. And remember, it's always time to rise the fuck